Hear the blessed haunted old forest, where at the base of an oak I rest.
Ah, you've come for the secrets of the universe.
The fairy beings between man and angel must know the mysteries.
Some of us have that knowledge.
I'm looking for the quantum guidance principle.
From quantum non-locality and entanglement, we know that information is more primary than distance.
Everything connected to everything would seem to be a perception had by the entangled network.
The all-at-once connections, in a hologram, seem to provide for what goes on in the information process.
Yeah.
A particle might know something about what to do, acting according to the others, as in relationism.
We wonder what underlies the chemical mattering and reacting that seems to have a unity of direction to it.
I am just a novice. There are spirit beings further on more aware of the causal nexus.
Then I'll seek them out. Fare thee well.
See you on the way out.
To pass and learn of the connectedness of all things, you must kiss me.
That kiss vibrated deep within my being. I felt it to my core.
All of life's entities embrace one another, including cells, organisms, species, and biotope.
I'm on my way again this morning after, the hours having flown by.
When Einstein had sat next to a pretty girl and noted a quicker passage of time over the slower passage of his instant of touching a hot stove.
I'm on my way again this morning after, the hours having flown by.
The holistic universe is governed by the property of the solitary whole. Thus, that could be the underlying guidance principle.
And expressing new properties at every level of organization, via strokes, letters, phonemes, words, phrases, and sentences. In and of a universe of rhythm, reason, rhyme, meter, metric, and melody.
I hope to move on more quickly, but her allure is testing my resolve. I'll stay the night.
Meanings in life are not just discovered or gleaned by mere observation, but by understanding through participation.
As in the relational reality of life, happening, at our semantical level of syntactical information exchange.
These informationally derived meanings combined to make sense in a non-reductive process. With no breaking of any of the holistic connections, all this as the epic whole of the book of nature.
It was so still you could hear a nut fall, and the musical strain of mystic call in soft tones flowered upon the silence as floating on the surface of the all.
There is the particle and there is the wave, being jointly known as the wavicle, all three states of which are not reality.
After 2 weeks with her, I have to survive the passage through the land of skulls and roses. Was that time of morn when the air, being for an hour their own heavenly selves,
There are no objects that are identical with themselves over time, and so the temporal sequence remains open. Nature is a possibility gestalt, with the world forming anew each moment from the deeper, enfolded realm, which can realize itself in many possible ways, it not being a strict sum of the partial states.
And thus retain their identity in time. Yet, matter really only appears secondarily, as a congealed potentiality. It still appears to us, though, that the world consists of parts that have continued from a moment ago.
These forest fairies, dryads, nymphs, and fauns, they beckon me along. For though the air I pass thoughts of,
In a stable configuration of inanimate matter, all the quantum uncertainties are averaged out.
But in the case of dynamically stable configurations, the lively features have a chance to surface.
the life of her face is in her deep blue eyes, as the moon and stars reflect in a pool. Soft-lipped mouth and the ears that pointed rise, which look as for a lifetime, poor surprise. I dive into her eyes, her soulful gaze, taste flowers in the gardens of her dreams, then whirl back up through her eyes.
What's unchanged is of conservation of energy, momentum, and electrical charge.
There are no point masses then, but only smudged particles, called the cloud.
He's necessarily being closer to the basis of all.
At last, I meet the ultimate poet, the elfin fairy queen.
I have your answer, my good man.
The weaves, warps, and woofs of the quantum bits as strokes makes for the letters of the elementals, as in the alphabet of the standard model, forming the words as the atoms.
That Chesley. That go on to form the molecules as the phrases. Unto the stories of the species.
Via the four. Via the unity of life's conscious literature. As the unified verse in which we live out our poems.
I'm left with a feeling that's no mere spell, but a fact in heaven that's fancy in hell. Deeper than thought, much older than speech can tell, of elemental affinity's flame.
All the temporary complexities from the etern must someday fade away.
Even the universe with its grandness, dispersing its greatness into blandness. As life and all the stars, moons, and planets in a book from the Babel library.
In between, the basis sets a story that gets lived by the transients within.
What's fundamental has to be partless, permanent, and either remain as itself.
Thus, it can only form temporaries onward, as rearrangements of itself.
That is the Poetic Universe.
The elementaries of a type are the same, being woven by the same weave.
Only at the stable rungs of quanta. They're well anchored, but they're secondary.
Many fine.
The vacuum has to ewa jitter and sing. This base existent force does something.
At the indefinite quantum level, zero must be fuzzy, not definite.
So it can't be zero, but has to be as that which is ever up to something. As the strands of quantum fields, webs of waves,
That weave the warp, weft, and woof, universed.
into being's fabric of Earth's living braids.